What's up, y'all? My name is Sasso, and today we'll be doing an uncut basically today. It's gonna be a little bit different. So instead of me going through the process of making the beat, I'll just show you how I made the beat. You know what I'm saying? So with that being said, let's go ahead and do it. So this is the beat, and this is just the mix here. There's nothing mixed. I'm actually gonna go through the mix with y'all. And what we're gonna basically do is just do like maybe something simple, something really simple, not maybe something too complicated. But um, yeah. So for that matter, so we'll just do that, and let's get into this beat. Something else, and yeah, let's go. Got the game on lock though. Never wanna lose though. Not when I just got home. Not when I just got home. Got the game on lock though. Never wanna lose though. Not when I just got home. Not when I just got home. So that's the beat and whatnot. So how did I do this? Let's start off with that. So the first thing I did in this, from what I remember, was I started off with this sample. All right, and this is the sample right here. So play the sample for you, and it's just like the beginning of a sample. Actually, I just like, you know what? I think this sounded really pretty cool, and let me go to that channel, actually, channel 14. So with that being said, let's go back to it. So in the beginning of here, actually, nope, my fault. Let's go back. So with this right here, I used for this to create this movement. You know, I was just checking something really quickly. Yeah, I was just checking something. I just want to make sure I have something real quickly. So you just need that. And all I'm doing here is just using a simple filter. And that's all I'm doing. So this right here is telling this to move and create some movement. Because without it, it's just doing like this. Actually, on my fault. All right, and that's cool and that's dope. But the thing is with that is this: if you listen to how the music is, it's giving movement, right? So with that being said, I was like, you know what? Let me go ahead and put a filter over it, and that's what I did. So you get this right here, all right, and now you can feel more like of the music. And think about like it like this, for example, an ocean, for example. Listen to how it's like moving. You know what I'm saying? And this is prior to me doing anything else but putting a simple filter over it. Now, when I turn on this filter, as far as the automation for the filter, imagine like a wave. Imagine the beat like a wave, and you'll see that how it just connects with one another. So check it out. So one more time, playing it with just the filter on. Check this out. Right, so you check that out. So with that, so what I'm doing here is basically when I said picture the music as a wave, as an ocean, it's kind of like this. At certain points, and on these specific lines, I'm seeing where it feels like it's actually like a wave, and I'm just kind of like just following the flow of that because how the music um, is moving. So watch this. You see what I'm saying? You can just see how it looks like it's almost like a wave, almost like when you see the actual the visualization for it, you can actually see like, yo, this is kind of like a wave almost. So yeah, and I just left that just as it was because I was like, it's fine. So after that, let me put this back on. So what I did here was I used a drum loop for this. You know what I'm saying? So we listen to this together. Actually, let's just do like this. All right. And I like the way that was sounding to me. You know, so typically, like what I will do is I will make music. I will use drum loops. I will use melody loops, or I'll do stuff from scratch. Doesn't really matter to me for real. As long as what I'm creating is sounding dope to me and I like it. So that's what I did. And it had such a nice rhythm to it. And I was like, okay, yeah, I like that. So um actually let's go because I did alter this a little bit, I believe. Or no, maybe not this one. So yeah. And then we have that and that together. So if I just mute this, and this and that. All right, you listen to that by itself. And by itself, it's like really dope. You know what I'm saying? So, and that itself could just been a song. I could just looped it off like that and been done with it. But I didn't do that. So I started to add more stuff around it. You know, when you're producing and stuff of that nature, you gotta be able to, when it comes to sampling, you gotta be able to know, can I add to this or can I subtract from this? You can manipulate anything how you want to do it. But in this case, instead of me fighting the music, I went with the music. You know what I'm saying? So now we're just gonna play everything with it real quick. That is fine. So typically, like for me personally, when I'm making music, because I'm also an artist as well, um, I like creating like drops and stuff. You know what I'm saying? I like creating parts where the music accentuates itself because also like you gotta remember that when you're producing and you're making music, the music is also a story as well. Doesn't always have to be a deep story or nothing like that. Every beat tells a story and tells a theme. So my job is to enhance that theme or to make certain parts of it stand out, and that's exactly what I do. So yeah, so I added little hi hats and things of that nature to give it that feel, that bounce. For example, right here, and I just have that basically just going out throughout the whole beat. Same thing. Actually, that's the same thing. Adding different layers to something to make it sound interesting. You know, giving stuff feeling. And I think this last one right here. Where's that? It's right here. That right there, yeah. And just giving that everything that you do when you're making it has to explain it. You know what I'm saying? Just has to fit well with it. And so you get something like this. last thing I did here was, what was it? I added this shout, and this is actually one of my favorite shouts. So with that, we're actually gonna find this real quickly. We're gonna find this real quick right here. See, did I add anything to this over here? No, no. So that's just the natural reverb that came with that. But I did cut off a little bit off of here because it was a little too bright for this. So we play it again. I'm gonna show y'all something. All right, so you see how that's playing. So I had this filter cut off and not a whole bunch of this here because this is where the body of it lives at. So if I take this off, we're gonna see how it plays. Low key, actually, actually, that still sound fire. But actually, that's kind of dope. I might even, I don't know. But anyway, though, like I was saying, to continue what I was saying, I just took it off just to give it a little bit more of a to tuck it in behind the beat or within the beat. But that brightness did sound kind of nice. I ain't gonna lie to you. But other than that, I started to add these pianos. Now these I played by artists that played by hand actually, but except for the drum loop and the main melody. But I added this right here. I'm gonna actually, oops, I'm gonna actually take off the reverb for this off if I can find this real quick. Where you at? And it's really just a simple little melody, you know. Listen. And it's basically like the same. And like I split this down so I can have more control over each one and whatever. So I'm gonna put this back on, you know. So, you know, I added this first one because I liked how this was. So I'm gonna take all of this off for a second. I'm gonna just play like this. That's how I started off. All right. So that's how I did it. Right. And then after that I was like, okay, cool. I like that. I like that idea, but I wanted to add something to it. So I added this right here to it. And that's just adding just the feeling to it, you know what I'm saying? So, and then after this, I was like, okay, that was fire. But then I started playing around again, and this was sold it to me right here. And it's just like supporting little keys and stuff like that. And that was like, and I was like, man, that's just fire. And then after that, you know what I'm saying, we went back to the shout, you know what I'm saying, and then after that, we added this right here. Now, typically, usually, like in my music, I got like the 808 in the lower octave, because you know we like that deep sounding bass. So instead of that, adding that into the music, I decided to do something a little bit different. So this is what we did. So basically, it's an 808. It's an 808, but it's just being played at a higher octave. And it was like, to me, it reminds me like a West Coast kind of like pluck or something like that. I'm not exactly sure how to say it, but it gave it a, like a nice bounce in the way it was. It was like, yo, this is like really dope. And I was like, okay, cool, I like that. So I had this whole other 808 situation going on. I was like, yeah, that's pretty cool, but I like the way this one does it. this one hits, and it makes it feel like it adds on to it. You know what I'm saying? It just added on to it. So let's keep moving. So that's basically that. And then right here we get to the hook. We get to the hook. So I just did like a quick hook because I was like, all right, let me add some to this real quick. So let me actually go back here. This is fine. Got the game on lock though. Got the game on lock though. Never wanna lose though. Not when I just got on. Not when I just got on. Got the game on lock though. Got the game on lock though. Never wanna lose though. Not when I just got on. Not when I just got on. And look, man, that is dope. That is fire. But so basically after that, so with this right here, I didn't really do a whole lot because I was just adding stuff only because I like to build stuff and then come back. I like to build like the whole idea, you know what I'm saying? So um I just cut a little bit of the lows, I took a little bit of the highs off, and I just took a little dip out right here in this range. And I left it alone because I was like, hey, I'm just gonna put this up for YouTube or whatever. You know what I'm saying? I was gonna leave it alone for a little bit until I got ready to like really seriously mix it down. And yeah, so after that, all I did was I just added some reverb. I just added some reverb. I just took this right here. I made a send first of all. I made a bus which can hold many different things, or whatever. So I had that on its own send or whatever, its own bus or its own aux. And I just had the reverb playing, but I before I put on the reverb, I put on the EQ. So that way I can cut off all the highs and lows off so that way it doesn't get muddy. And when I mean by muddy, I mean by this. So if I take this off, this is called like a low band or whatever. And so what you're gonna see is a whole bunch of reverb at the low end start to introduce itself. So listen to this. Got the game on lock though. Got the game on lock though. Never wanna lose though. Not when I just got home. Right? That's a lot. We don't want that. That just takes away from the music. And it doesn't sound bad because the way this how this sounds, but you take that off and this is what you get. Got the game on lock though. Got the game on lock though. Never wanna lose though. Not when I just got home. Not when I just got home. Got the game on lock though. So now that feel like that fits. That feel like that fits the music. So anytime you want to just control some reverb, put an EQ before it. And then just the high end, same thing, just too much high end on it, you know what I'm saying? So we can do it. It doesn't matter. Let's do it. Got the game on lock though. Got the game on lock though. Never wanna lose though. Not when I just got home. Not when I just got home. But anyway, so that's basically the whole beat and whatever. So, and then that's just me stylistically just doing stuff. So let's listen to it one more time, all together. Got the game on lock though. Got the game on lock though. Never wanna lose though. Not when I just got home. Not when I just got home. Got the game on lock though. Got the game on lock though. Never wanna lose though. Not when I just got home. Not when I just got home. So yeah, so that's basically the beat and whatever. And this is the part where I'm about to show y'all like basically like how to like get a good level or whatever. You know what I'm saying? So Basically, what we're gonna do is gain stage these and make sure that everything is the way we want it to do prior to mixing or whatever. Yes, I'm aware that we have clicks and some pops in there, and that's because this right here. So you see in the sample, so where you get cuts and stuff, there are usually these small little pieces that don't always hit on the line, or they're not even. I could say the most part, and they'll create like pops and clicks. And what you will want to do is basically like do like this: is create a fade. It's like create a fade. You can create any type of fade that you want. You know what I'm saying? You can see it right here. You can just play around with that and whatever. But I'm not gonna do that right now, so I'm just leave that alone to where I have it. So that's how you get rid of clicks and fades, or clicks and pops and whatever. So that way you don't have to hear that. Because I know in the hook you hear it like, but when it's in this spot right here, it's supposed to give you a really more smooth transition. But anyway, back to this right here. So there's two windows here in FL that you're gonna probably want to pay attention to when you're gain staging. It's the first thing you want to do. I'm just gonna show y'all one thing. So what I'm gonna do first is this. I'm gonna focus on my drums, right? And then I'm gonna take care of everything else first. It doesn't matter where you start off with as far as this part goes. This is just what I'm gonna do real quickly. And I like to color my drums and stuff, whatever. It's not color coded on the playlist, but I like to color code so that way I can make sense of stuff. So the first thing I'm gonna do, I'm gonna go over here to this master track. I already got a DB meter on, and I'm just gonna see where's that hitting at. So this is a good level right here. This is actually a really good level, and I believe I already gained stage this already. I believe so. Let me see. Did I mess with this? No, I didn't. So you want usually your levels, what introducing, like for example, if you're a mixing engineer, you want the levels all to be at least in the -6. That just helps for like making things easier for the engineer to do what they're trying to do. But that's just if something is super quiet or something is super high and whatever. You just want everything to be at a good level prior to you mixing and whatever. So that's what I'm gonna do, and then I'm gonna show you the next step of how I would get a level balance on just this beat here. You know what I'm saying? So this one's fine. This is fine. So we don't gotta worry about that. What I'm gonna do one last thing. Let's do like this. You usually want to do this in mono. You want to usually do this in mono. Now, usually what you want to do is if you're just making a beat, it's cool. But when you get like multi-tracks, you usually want those, depending on the situation, you might want them to be all in mono. You know, if it's something that you can't replicate or something like that, you could just leave it in stereo. You know what I'm saying? But in this case, I'm just gonna put this in mono. And mono means basically like this. So this is stereo, this is mono. So think about like a sound just being loud and it just get like center in your ear. So like for example like this. So if you can hear that, yeah, it just turns everything into mono. Make sure we're alright. Oh, I turned it down a little bit. My fault. We gotta go back over here real quick. Just make sure that we're in the right place. Cause I did turn that down a little bit because I was doing something else. We're still here. We're fine. We're fine on that. So with that being said, we can go back. Check this level out. And all we're gonna do is look for 14. And I'm just gonna turn this up. cool. That's fine. And again, you can gain stage wherever you want to. That's it's your decision on what you feel about whatever you want to do. Now, someone might be saying like, "Yo, what happens when this all is at this level? It's gonna clip." It potentially will or might clip, but this comes part of the level balance that I'm about to show you. Um, you know, there's plenty of ways to do the exact same thing. You know what I'm saying? So this next thing I'm gonna do is do this right here. All right, it's not even over here. Honestly, I should do this in order. I'm gonna do this in order with y'all. I'm gonna do this in order with y'all real quick. All right, we're gonna take care of this real quick. And I also have some on. I also have some distortion. So I'm gonna take the distortion off. All right, and we're gonna go back over here. We could just do like this for a second. Let's see what that's at. Like that's fine itself right there. So I don't have to worry about that. This right here, again, it's here. And again, like if you're making a beat, you don't have to necessarily do this, but this is something I'll do. You know, that's something I do because I'm ensuring that I'm getting the most out of my and the most out of my the level. You know, so gain staging is very much important. And I already had turned this down, so see that's at. You could use this, but I like to prefer using this right here. Too much. All right, cool. A little too much, and it's jumping a little bit. And when sometimes you're doing, you're looking for the peak. You just want the peak. That's it. That's that line that's popping up. You want this just to peak here. As long as peaking is fine. You're good. You're absolutely good. And it doesn't always have to hit like -6. It doesn't always have to be like, oh, it's gotta hit at exactly. Nah, don't do all that. You be sitting there wasting your time. You know what I'm saying? So that's fine right there. You can just watch the levels. You can just see you're picking up. And that's fine because I wanted to make sure that the level was cool first. I would rather have everything a little bit hot for right now. And now what I'm going to do is basically use this right here. Right, so this is a two piece. So I have what's called a VU meter. And so with that being said, what I'm going to do is do the exact same thing. Right, but only this time what I'm looking for is for this to peak here. So I'm gonna use this VU meter right here to now, because I see where my level's at with everything. And I'm just clipping. And I'm clipping on here. And I don't want to do that. So this is where I'm about to get my level balance at. So this is how I get my level balance to be even. And that way is like, so when you're listening to your music, your 808, like for example, like your 808, for example, like, you know, like you hear that big boom, but you don't know that it's like really it's overpowering every other instrument. Sometimes you can tell, some people can't tell, you know, but this helps out with like a visualization so that you can actually see what's going on in the music. You know, it's everything balanced and everything even, you know what I'm saying? So, um, yeah. So that's where it's at. So what I'm about to do is work on this drum this drum loop first. That's what I want. So, and that's what I'm going to do. So I'm just gonna. All right, that's all I want to focus on real quick. So you might think like, why did you do that? Well, like I said before, I want stuff to be loud so I can turn it down. So I know that I'm even in the place of what I'm doing. So that way I know that I gave it the most value, and then I can turn it back down so where it feels even. You know, people do it differently. You know what I'm saying? This is how I do it. So I'm gonna go back over here, and I'm just gonna use this right here. And yeah, so we're no longer gonna be paying attention to this meter no more. We're going to be paying attention to this. So that's what we're gonna be doing. Everyone, just turn it down. And I'm gonna have this probably hit around like here, like 3. And the goal is you want everything to like kind of like hit here. Well, the peaking here. You know what I'm saying? So I want that to go right there. And you can always change it too. The next thing I'm gonna do is add this 808 real quick. Okay. You can see what that's at. Right. And you can see like how it's like really pushing it. So I'm gonna just okay. And that's fine right there. So we're gonna put these two together real quick and see what we got. Let's see. Let's see. Now you can see what's going on with it again. Sometimes you gotta see what exactly is doing what. And then you can see I feel like it's that 808 adding on to it. So I'm gonna go ahead and turn this down just a little bit more. I'm gonna knock this down again. And it's not kick. You hear that boom. So we're just gonna knock that out and find it again. Turn it up again. And those are like usually like your kicks and or stuff like the loudest thing in the mix anyway if you're talking about just like hip hop or whatever. But the 808 and the kick are usually like the loudest thing anyway. So now that that's done, we're just gonna move on to like other instruments. And at this point, what I would do, like for me personally, like I listen to it till it feel like it's even. You know what I'm saying? Till it feel like it's even in my ears. So I'm just gonna go ahead and turn these things on real quick. You know what I'm saying? So I'm gonna turn on this kick. You can just tell, you can automatically tell like, hey, this is louder than everything else. So that's what I would do. And I'm just making sure that it feels even in my ears, you know what I'm saying? Like it feel like they living in the same place. There we go. And they're pretty much good. I would say they're pretty much good. And so now that we have that done, we're actually gonna go back over here and listen to it again. Let's look at that view meter and see what happens. right, so that's what we want to do, and so now, like the last thing I will show you guys after that is basically now what we're just simply going to go ahead and now we're just going to level this all out. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna level everything out. You know what I mean? We're gonna take all of this here, these ad-libs, all of that. Don't know what this is, but it's gonna get come down. So you know what I'm saying? All right, cool. And this too. It's just to make sure it's distortion. So this part, you know, I believe everybody knows. You know. So all we're gonna do is simply just go right here. The first thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna start off with my drums because I want my drums to go first. You always want to do your drums first before anything. Always get your drums to sound good and you know before anything else, and then you attack everything else afterwards. So it goes. I'll say it like this. It will go drums, vocal, then melody. Get your drums to sound good. Get your vocal to sound good around the drums, and then add the melodic instruments. That's the best way to do it. So, all right. So now we did that. We're gonna go simply just take care of this. We're gonna go ahead and just get this going real quick. All right. And then like you want to do the 808 last. You want to work on the 808 last. Now some people do it differently. This is how I do it. So I'm just gonna go ahead and get these going on. Over here. And this part is all about where do you feel like it fits. You know what I'm saying? Okay, cool. So what I'm about to do right here is basically just bring this down, and I'm going to do is take this lead one. Game on lock though. Never wanna lose those. Got the game on lock though. Never wanna lose those. Lock though. Never wanna lose those. Got the game on lock though. 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 So much. I'm gonna bring it down. Got the game on lock though. And sometimes you can EQ it or whatever. Got the game on lock though. Got the game on lock though. Got the game on lock though. Let's see that right there. Got the game on lock though. Got the game on lock though. Never wanna lose those. Never wanna lose those. Got the game on lock though. Got the game on lock though. Never wanna lose those. Never wanna lose those. Got the game on lock though. Got the game on lock though. Never wanna lose those. Never wanna lose those. Not when I just got on. Not when I just got on. Not when I just got on. Got the game on lock though. Got the game on lock though. Never wanna lose those. Never wanna lose those. Not when I just got on. Not when I just got on. And what you're looking for, what I'm doing right now is basically I'm putting the kick right where you're hearing that snare. I'm looking for that snare. And I'm making that where it's where it's audible for people to hear, because that's where you want it to be, either above or just on the snare. Usually you want it a little bit higher than the snare, but again, that part's subjective, like any part of music is. Got the game on lock though. Got the game on lock though. Never wanna lose those. Never wanna lose those. Not when I just got on. 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 Got the game on lock though. Got the game on lock though. Never wanna. Got the game on lock though. Got the game on lock though. Never wanna lose those. Never wanna lose those. Not when I just got on. 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 Got the game on lock though. Got the game on lock. I'm missing the spot. This thing right here. I'm missing one more that I thought I had on here. Got the game on lock though. Got the game on. Got the game on lock though. Got the game. Which one is this? Let me see. I got the game on lock. Oh, you must not be following the thing on here. Okay, let me put you in 26, my fault. There we go. Got the game on lock though. Got the game on lock though. And like when you're listening to that, you wanna don't pay attention to your faders. That's why I close my eyes. don't pay attention to the faders. Listen to how it sounds in your ear. So in this case, like I close my eyes so that I can hear, I can feel it. Like where does it feel like it sits best? And that's what you want to do is feel where it feels like it sits best and where you can understand it. You know what I'm saying? So that's where I have that vocal sitting and whatnot. So we listen to it again.
Got the game on lock though.
Got the game on lock though.
Never wanna lose though.
Never wanna lose though.
Not when I just got on.
Not when I just got on.
Not when I just got on.
Not when I just
Got the game on lock though.
got the game on lock though.
Never wanna lose though.
Never wanna lose though.
Not when I just got on.
See, they feel like
When I just got on.
Not when
it's
I
like
just got on.
it feel like it's
When I
there.
just got on.
Got the game on lock.
And now what we're basically gonna do is build around that. We're gonna just build around that real quick. We're gonna build around that, and that's how you get your music to sit in everything. You know what I'm saying? Build around the actual vocal. That's what you do, is build around it. So we're gonna take this sample because that's the most important part. And I'm actually gonna throw on this what we have here because I don't like that low end on there. So I'm just gonna throw that back on.
Got the game on lock though.
Got the game on lock though.
And I'm just gonna throw this back on.
Not when I just
Got the game on lock though.
got the game on lock though.
Never wanna lose though.
Never wanna lose though.
Not when I just got on.
Not when I just got on.
Not when I just got on.
Not when I just
So that's basically just like that's basically like just getting your balance. So what you want to do too when you're doing music as well is that you want to be able to do mono, right? And you want to be able to switch it back into stereo. That way you're getting the best of both worlds and seeing what's going on. Don't just mix just in mono, mix in stereo as well. Make sure that you understand both. So I think that's pretty much it. So this is like basically like the final product as far as just like the leveling, you know what I'm saying? We're just leveling stuff out. You know what I'm saying? So and again, y'all, my name is Sasso, and if you guys like this type of content, please like and subscribe, you know what I'm saying, and comment too. That lets me know I'm going in the right direction with this, and you know what I'm saying. Again, it's very much appreciated. You are appreciated, you know what I'm saying. Keep creating music that you love, man. Be inspirational, be whatever you want to be, you know, be amazing at it, you know. So again, you can find me at Instagram or on YouTube. You know, those are the places I'm primarily at. You know what I'm saying? So with that, I am gone. And